Macron warns Europe against return to 1920s populism, calls to fight Europe's nationalist leprosy.
Here's a summary of the article.
Macron calls to fight Europe's nationalist leprosy, Europe, RFI. To take full advantage of multimedia content, you must have the Flash plugin installed in your browser. To connect, you need to enable cookies in your browser settings. For an optimal navigation, the RFI site is compatible with the following browsers: Internet Explorer 8 and above, Firefox 10 and Plus, Safari 3 Plus, Chrome 17 and Plus, etc. Sorry, but the period of time connection to the operation is exceeded.
This post received a score of 37,630, with an upvote ratio of 78%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Stagnant wages despite productivity being at an all-time high while cost of living rises every year. Pretty easy angle for a populist take to grab votes and power, regardless of whether they plan to look into any solutions.
Yep, corporate handjobs by establishment politicians breeds populism. The migrant crisis tipped things over the edge though.
I think it's the complete lack of accountability that makes folks look for something to change the system. Populist or not, when you see politicians break either the law of the spirit of the law with impunity, one gets pretty sarcastic about these rules for others.
It is about dignity and a sense of fairness and justice. It is why the strongest competitor to brutish populism is about rights and equality. If everyone was a millionaire but a few people were trillionaires because they seemingly play by different rules, there will be upheaval. 15 per hours and tax cuts are nice, but they won't stop the sense of indignity at a class of people who left them behind. Not just Europe but the whole world seems to be shifting towards populism.
Why do you think that may be?
Populism is a reaction against the concentration of economic and political power in the hands of a small number of elites.
That chart is beautiful, saved, and want to look into this a bit more. I feel like it cuts through a lot of the clutter on this topic. Do you have any personal thoughts on what can be done to help?
In general, political scientists say that wealth inequality is inherently bad because the richer people are, the more they can tweak the system to benefit themselves. It corrupts the political system and leads to wage stagnation. Economists tend to think it isn't ideal because people who want to spend more, the poor, can't. It's a positive feedback loop that leads to unhappy, unhealthy, poor people.
You forgot the part where it leads to economic collapse because the rich can only spend so much and the production of normal goods becomes too costly for the price the market will bear. That includes food, and starving poor people historically does not end well for rich people. That's one thing that convinces me our current crop of rich people are not smart enough to have worked their way into such wealth. If they were, they would realize they're flying too close to the sun and life without that second yacht is just as comfortable, and there's still a working economy to keep them happy and healthy.
But they aren't acting as a unit. They are only acting in their own self-interest. They don't care what the other wealthy people do. I met a guy who flew his car from England to the Cayman Islands so he had something to drive on vacation. A Bentley, beautiful car. Money just wasn't real to him. Talked to him for 3 days or so because our families had kids the same age. Figured out he made $58 million a year average.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.